The officer ended up busting my lip when he was wrestling with me to get in the, wrestling me in the grass. So I didn't realize how big, how bad my face had looked until after this whole situation.
Too low to the mall, with a couple capos and 100 fucking dimes. Color slaughter gang, you get your shit popped. Back up with a drum, this bitch ain't never go stop. Be on that night war shit.
What's up, YouTube? It is Jeremy and I'm back with another video. First of all, congratulations to us. We finally reached over 100 subscribers. We got like 120 now. I know, not that big of an accomplishment, but still really big to me in my heart. And I want to thank all of my 100 subscribers for sticking this long with me through all of my inconsistencies. Also, another thing, I was thinking about starting an ASMR channel because I just love ASMR. Like, I've loved ASMR for so long. And so, y'all tell me, should I start an ASMR channel? Or maybe should I do like an ASMR video on this channel and then see if y'all like it? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do an ASMR video on this channel, see if y'all like it, see how y'all interact with it. And then depending on that, I might just continue to do ASMR, so on a different channel. But anyways, that's neither here or there. Y'all clicked on this video because y'all seen by the title, this is the story time. Okay, sorry. It's the story time of how I got put in handcuffs, almost arrested, got sent to alternative school as a result. So we just finna get right into it. So without further ado, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good jazz, and leave some video recommendation ideas in the comments too, because I'll be trying to find some good ideas, but I want to hear what y'all want to see. So let me know in the comments. Okay, so this all started junior year of high school. I was in 11th grade. I'm smiling because I'm just reminiscing about high school in general, but thinking back to 11th grade, that was a crazy year for me. That was actually one of my worst years of high school. I'm just glad I got through it. And I had just got back I just got back to school because I was in a mental hospital for a week. And so I just got back into school. And keep in mind, I just got back on some new meds for the first time for my mental health. So my body and my mind is reacting all weird. My anger is up here compared to how it usually is. So I'm really heightening all my emotions and everything's just crazy, right? So I really needed some more stability. Looking back, I needed stability at that time and not to keep moving from, okay, mental hospital, school, wrestling practice, and all this other stuff. Basically just jumping back into daily life as if I didn't just start on new meds. That probably wasn't the best idea. But so my 11th grade boyfriend, we decided to, I think we decided to either order food. I remember eating Wingstop. So either I ordered Wingstop and let him have some, or we ordered it together or something like that. Or we went to go get it. I don't remember. I just remember we was eating Wingstop. So we ate Wingstop at lunch and I was sitting with him and yeah, boom. So we sitting, we talking, eating our lunch, whatever, catching up, because I haven't seen him for a week because I was in a mental hospital. So just cute little lunch date, cute little 1-2. Out of nowhere, my twin sister, she walked up to me and she was walking off fast. And so I saw her walking up and I was like, what's wrong? Something's going on, because why is she, just pacing through the cafeteria? She's like, this dude just told Bree, which is my older sister, she's like, this dude just told her that he was going to beat her up and all this other stuff. And let me tell y'all, I'm crazy. Y'all don't know this, but I'm crazy. So when I heard that, I immediately blacked out. And all I saw was bread, okay? And when I say blacked out, this is a different type of blackout. So this wasn't a blackout, I don't remember nothing. This was a blackout my eyes turned red. All I saw was a distorted image of life. If I could explain this, it's I was watching, it's I was in a sunken place, right? And watching life through a screen, for real. And so I wasn't even in my body is what it felt like. I was disassociated. I don't know any of the background to the story or anything like that at the time. All I heard was those few words. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I jump up out my seat and I'm I guess I was speed walking or running, but I run out the door. I don't know who this man was. I don't know where I was gonna find him, who I was looking for. I just knew every time somebody asked me something, I would say, no, I'm finna find him. Like, we finna handle this right now, type of thing. Like, I was ready to fight. I was ready to grab a knife. I was ready to stab him. I was ready to do whatever I had to do. So I was in Texas at the time. And if y'all don't know, I was in Plano, Texas. If y'all don't know what Plano, Texas is, there's only three. Okay, so this is how the high schools are set up. So there's three senior high schools. Under those three senior high schools is two junior high schools. And when I say junior and senior high school, a junior high school is just freshman and sophomore year, and then a senior high school is junior and senior year, and then you go to college from there. So that's how the high schools are set up. I went to one of the senior high schools because I was a junior. And so these schools are big, really big. They look like mini college campuses, to be honest. And there's like 5 or 6 principals for every school. And so there was one principal that came up, and looking back now, he was a really cool dude. But at the time, I saw, like, when I saw him, okay, so y'all know how the robots and stuff, when they see people and they like scan them and they got like all the words on the screen and stuff, and it got like, oh, this person, it got like immediate danger, exit, like different things like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But that's kind of how it was. Like, I saw him and I saw, don't listen to him, like, he's danger too. Like, I guess I thought everybody was coming for me type of thing. And so I see him, boom, and he tried to like calm me down. There was no calming me down at the time. I was already elevated. So boom, we go, he's trying to calm me down, and then he gets to touching on me, and that's when, I don't know if I tackled him to the ground or what, because later after the story, when I heard about what happened and what I was actually doing, I was like, well, like, for what reason did I have to do that? He tried to calm me down. He saw that wasn't working. That's when he started to touch on me and started to grab me and started to try, like, physically calm me down. And with me, that's just gonna turn me up more. Like, don't touch me type of thing. And so he touched me. That's when I started resisting. And then I saw another principal. Now, this principal I actually do not like from the beginning. And so everybody's getting cussed out. Everybody around me is getting cussed out. And at this point, the whole school is already exited out of the doors of the cafeteria and came to the center of the school, which is where I was and where all this was happening. So I'm being surrounded by all these people and cameras, but my eyes shut them out. Like, I don't see nobody but what's actually happening in front of me. And so, boom, I forgot to mention this. My twin sister the whole time was actually talking to me because she ran out when I ran out. So she was actually behind me trying to calm me down too. But like I said, I couldn't hear her. Like, I wasn't actually attentive to what was going on. So I couldn't hear anything she was saying. And I guess I was just ignoring her type of thing. But everybody else was getting cussed out. When I tell y'all I was using every word in the damn book, like, I never cared. Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember the story as I tell it. And so it's like my mind is all everywhere right now, but I'm gonna get it out. Okay, so then that's when I saw the first police officer. And I think when I saw the first police officer, that's when my mind started to click, like, oh shit, like, what just happened? Like, what did I just do? And that's when I started to actually come back to earth a little bit and realize, like, oh, okay, like, you know, what's going on. So he wasn't really aggressive with me. So I did start off like cussing him out too, and then he started calming me down more with just talking regular. And so I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. He was like, just come with me, we'll talk it out. So I'm coming with him. Boom. Then that's when another officer come. This is when the issue really started, because this officer was racist. He was old, he was white, he was discriminatory. He was all of this stuff. So he came up to me and instantly he started yelling. He started trying to detain me. And so I got back hype again. So like my anger went from here back to here. So it's like I started off up here, went down here with the first officer, and then went back up with the second officer came. And I was like, it was just a lot mentally that day. Like, officer came, so he started detaining me. And so he like tried to put my hands behind my back and put me in handcuffs. That's when I flipped him to the ground. Because keep in mind, I was in wrestling at the time. Like, don't get me wrong, first of all, I could fight to begin with, but I got technique now. I know what I'm doing. So it's like instinct when somebody jumps on me to bring them to the ground. So that's what I did. I brought him to the ground. This is when my sister my twin, she jumped on his back, like, what you think you doing? So we all three tumbling in the grass, and here come more officers, more people just recording, the principals, like, everybody's here now. After wrestling in the ground for like a while, I end up just giving up, because I'm like, I finally get calm again, and I end up just giving up the fight. I'm like, okay, take me. Put me in the handcuffs, take me. I'm still cussing him out though. I just let him put my hands behind my back, and he puts me in the handcuffs. So boom. We go to a room in one of the offices, right? And they're like, yeah, you're going down. This is what the police officers are saying in the room, right? They're like, you're going down and all this other stuff. And you can answer some questions we have for you, or you could just sit there. And I was like, I'm just gonna fucking sit here. We both gonna be looking stupid. And they end up telling me, like, this is the story of what happened to your sister. So this is when stuff actually started to make sense. Because keep in mind, nothing made sense. I was really, at that point, mad for no reason, because I didn't know what was actually going on. So we're gonna give this boy a name. We're gonna call him Ugly. Because everybody thought this boy was cute. But I thought he was the ugliest shit I've ever seen at school in my, at that point, 11 years of being in school. So we're gonna call him Ugly. So Ugly beat on his ex-girlfriend in front of the school, so everybody saw it, and there was a video going around. What had happened was my older sister and her friends was walking past as he was beating on her, and they was trying to get him to stop or whatever. He said something like, y'all need to go or y'all finna be next, something like that, right? And then so they ended up leaving to go tell like administrators or whatever about the whole situation, and so they got out of there. And so that's literally all that happened with my god sister, but I didn't know that at the time. I just heard, okay, this boy finna beat on your sister, so what you finna do? That's how my mind was thinking. Then they start telling me, this is what we're charging you with. So I'm like, what? Like, when I heard that, I just got mad all over again. Like, all of this was very bad for my mental at the time, because I kept going up, down, up, down, up, down, which I understand more now that I know, what I was going through at the time mentally. But back then, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just getting angry. I'm coming back down, getting angry, come back down. And my anger was like to the point of unmanageable. Like, it felt so it felt like it was taking over my whole body. Like, I had to get out of my body. That's the type of anger it was. And if any of y'all know how that feels, then y'all know how that feels. We're charging you with interference with a police investigation, because they said they were already investigating her getting beat up, which, anyways, they were already investigating that she was getting beat up. We're just gonna do that. So they said I was interfering with a police investigation. And then they said I was gonna get charged with assault of a police officer, because I had, I guess, brought him to the ground or whatever. So I go back to screaming, cussing, get me out these handcuffs. Like, when I tell you I was literally going in, like, they had to sit there like this because they didn't want to hear me. Like, and when I was screaming, I wasn't screaming like no high-pitched scream. I was screaming like a deep, like, scary scream. Like, I was a monster. Like, a monster had escaped my body. So, boom, I hear a knock on the door, and I hear my mama's voice. And I start cussing her out. I don't even know why. Like, she was just there, and she was trying to help. But I started cussing at her. So they brought her in. They was like, okay, you want to talk to her? You want to talk to him? And she was like, yeah, I want to talk to him. So they brought her in, and they left the room. And she was like, you need to lower your tone, and you need to stop being so disrespectful. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and you're too elevated, so I can't even figure out what's going on and get you out the situation. So that made me calm down, and I was calm at the time. My sister was on the phone with my mom at the time, and my mom was trying to figure out where she was, but I didn't know all this till later. Oh, and then, I didn't even tell y'all this, but the officer ended up busting my lip when he was wrestling with me to get in the, wrestling me in the grass. So I didn't realize how bad my face had looked until after this whole situation. And so, actually, I might still have a picture of it, too. I'm gonna have to look. If I have a picture, I'll insert it right here. But my lip was busted bad. Like, it was a mess. So my mama ended up leaving the room to go find my sister, and she on the phone with her. And then the officers come back in there with me, and they were telling me, okay, so since you're calm again, this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna take you in. we're gonna release you in the custody of your parents for tonight, but you're gonna have to basically I was gonna have to go to court for the charges type of thing. So after that whole situation, I ended up leaving with my parents. Now a few days later, I went to it's like the Plano juvenile center for juveniles, something like that, right? So I went up there, and usually that's where all the kids go when they have probation. They have to get drug tested. They have to go to court, all that other stuff. So they go there, and that's where your PO is. So I went up there. I had got assigned a PO. So I talked to her, whatever. We talk about the whole situation. And she's like, so these are the two options. They're either going to give you deferred probation, meaning you have probation for 6 months, or you're going to have to go to court, and they're going to basically figure out your probationary period in court. And I was like, okay. And she was telling me, like, if you go to court, you can actually fight against it, and you might not get probation at all. And she was telling me, like, this isn't really something you should get probation for. It's really stupid. And I was like, okay, yeah, I agree. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to end up going to court and just get it taken care of. I'm not going to have to do probation at all. We get a call a few days later, and it's my PO. And she's telling me, okay, so they've decided we're just going to give you deferred probation, and you're just going to have to be on probation for 6 months. And so you're going to have to come in, get drug tested every month. You got to do a certain amount of hours for community service. And it was something else, I can't remember. But I was like, at the time, I was like, that's so dumb, because this was a very dumb, like, it was a very stupid situation. It was a very small situation compared to everything else that be going on. So why would y'all give me probation at all? But now I'm looking back, I don't even know what to say to the younger me. But, you know, I've changed some. I've definitely grown. Now, getting into alternative school, I go back to school about a week later, and because I got suspended for about a week. And so they call me and they're like, hey, we need you to come in so we can talk about your suspension or whatever, and tell you what's the next steps in basically what we have, what your consequence is, right? Because that suspension was I think that suspension was just to get me time to calm down before going back up there. And they really didn't want to see me for a while, I'm not gonna hold you. So I go up there and we have a little meeting, and it's like the 3 principals in there, and then me, my mom, and a counselor. And so we're in there talking, and they're like, oh, and my twin too, because she had got in trouble that day too. She had got suspended the same day I got suspended, because she was also involved in the incident. So we both come back and we're in a meeting. They're telling us, y'all are both going to get sent to alternative school for 30 days. And at that point, my heart just dropped. I was like, whoa, I don't want to go to alternative school. It was going to be boring. I really didn't want to be bored. Like, that was my whole thing. Because if I'm bored, I'm not going to do anything. Like, and I'm going to be super depressed. And so I was like, ugh, whatever. I had the biggest attitude in that meeting. They were trying to talk to me. I didn't want to talk, because I'm like, y'all just told me I'm going to alternative school. What do I want to talk to y'all for? Okay. Anyways, so I had those charges. I had alternative school. And then I was in trouble, obviously, at home. I didn't even have a phone at the time, I don't think, because my phone got taken before I went to the mental hospital. So I really didn't have much for them to take from me anyways. So I really was at, like, to the point where I just didn't care no more about nothing. But what they didn't tell us was that 30 days in alternative school was technically, I think, a month and a half, not just a month, because they don't count the weekends. They only count the 5 school days. But the good thing is I had my sister with me, so we basically got through it together. But yeah, that's the story of how I technically got arrested, got charged with interference with police investigation and assault, and got sent to alternative school for a month and a half. But yeah, it feels so good to get off my chest. And I have so many more story times. Actually, I have alternative school story times too. Like, if y'all want to hear about any of those, let me know. And then, yeah. But, yeah. I have a lot of story times. I should really start doing story times more. That's what I'm gonna start doing, story times more. We're gonna see. But yeah, anyways, thank y'all for watching. That's the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. And yeah, moral of the story, I'm crazy. Not as crazy as I was, but still crazy. I'm working on it though. What can I say? Yeah, if y'all enjoyed this, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, leave any comments y'all have below, and stay tuned for the next video. Also, remember to love yourself today, because if you don't, nobody else will. So yeah, all right, see you on the next one.